morning, Aaron. Welcome to Performance Unlimited. We just got done dynoing your 347 small block Ford, going in your 65 Mustang. Thing turned out awesome. This is what we call an early morning dyno session, so you got probably a few free extra horsepower, but she's one badass little 347. You're going to be getting the dyno sheets and a copy of the dyno with it.
Hold on.
Thing is like crazy, right?
Isn't that crazy? Start it over. All right, go ahead. Sorry, man.
Hey, good morning, Aaron. Welcome to Performance Unlimited. We just got done dying with your 347 small block Ford. Thing turned out absolutely awesome, going in that 65 Mustang. We got a couple of free extra horsepower probably this morning. This is an early morning dyno pull, so the humidity and the air is pretty decent here in Florida. And even with the dyno correction, you usually get a free couple of extra horsepower. But we got an awesome engine. Can't wait for you to put it in that car. I don't know if it's a sticker on the Mac, but that thing's going to really fly. It's a pretty lightweight car. You're going to have a fantastic power to weight ratio. These 347s are just awesome engines. Just go over a couple of things for the build as we do. We start out with a late model block with a one-piece rear main seal, so you don't have to worry about any kind of oil leaks from the rear main seal. We got that covered. Got a hydraulic roller camshaft in here, custom ground force by Comp Cams that we spec'd out for this engine. We've got the double sump oil pan on here as per your request. Got the block painted black. Got the Edelbrock silver heads on there. We take these heads apart, do an inspection, replace the valve springs with our own dual springs, Viton seals, chuck the 3/8 studs for 7/16 studs. We got some fully rolled stainless rockers under these beautiful Cobra valve covers. We've also got the Oval Cobra air cleaner that matches everything. We got all good parts in here, Eagle rotating assembly, Melling oil pump, and of course we got the beautiful Mark pulley system on the front here. We'll have the belt on here, all adjusted up for you when you get the engine. This engine also features an MSD ready to run billet distributor. It's what you request. There's no vacuum advance on this engine. We took it off. We don't run vacuum advance on our engines. We set the distributor up as far as the curve and so forth, the way we want it. You're going to have 28 degrees total with 12 degrees at idle. That's around a 900 RPM idle point. You shouldn't have to do anything with the timing, but it's always a good idea to throw a light on it after you do the install. Make sure everything is the same in the car as it is here on the dyno. The engine is running absolutely excellent. Carburetor is all set up for you. 1.5 turns on the primary air fuels. 2 turns on the primary, 1.5 on the back. That's what this engine required. We just checked the fast idle setup. Should have about 1400 RPM. It's early in the morning for me too, I guess. 1400 roughly on your fast idle, and of course you just kick it down when you get a little temperature in the motor. Your final idle speed right now is around 800, and you can adjust that up or down. Really, it just depends on what your own personal preferences. If it's a stick, it should easily idle around 800, but I mean, it just depends on your driving style. Floats are all set. You want to run between 5.5 and 7.5 pounds of fuel pressure in this carburetor. That's all you need. If you got more than that, you're going to have to regulate it down. If you have any questions, give Steve a call. He can help you out with all that stuff.
Oil?
Great motor here. Like I said, 2050 oil is all we want you to run in these engines. After about 1,000 miles or so, you want to throw the Joe Gibbs in. That's our favorite oil. It's called the hot rod oil, and it's also, I believe it's a 1550 weight. Don't run any synthetic oil in here until you have several thousand miles. And really, with the Joe Gibbs oil, that stuff is so good. It's got millions of dollars of R&D behind it. You really don't have to go to a synthetic. That stuff will get the job done. Just make sure you got a good radiator, good fans. You got a 160 thermostat in here. This engine should run between probably 185 to 205 in the car, depending on what time of the year it is. Well, like I said, once again, I would give Steve a call when you're doing the install, let him get you set up for that. You have to get your own headers. We recommend an 1 3/4 header if possible. A lot of the new Ford headers today are a stepped header, 1 5/8 to 1 3/4. That will also work for you. And just make sure you put a nice exhaust system on there, free flowing with some good mufflers, and you'll have yourself just a monster in that car. Hey man, we really appreciate your business. There's one more thing we like to cover, and I don't want to scare you, but we've had a few guys over the years hurt the thrust bearings in our engines, not just Ford engines, but Chevys, you name it, because they don't properly pre-fit the torque converter. So what I suggest, engine on the ground, take the converter out of the box, put that thing right up into the crankshaft, the rear nut. I'm not talking about the end that goes onto the input shaft of the transmission. The back end nut of the converter has to fit into the recess of the crankshaft without touching freely and smoothly, as we like to put it. If you have any interference back there, you gotta either just clean the paint off, sometimes it's that simple, or sometimes you gotta open up the back of the crankshaft. But whatever you do, if you have any issues, stop, don't go any further, give us a call. We'll try to sort the problem out on the phone for you. Hopefully you got a good mechanic helping you that understands that stuff. But if all that checks out, of course, put your mid plate, your flex plate, torque it on with some Loctite. Make sure that converter goes all the way into the transmission, 3 clicks. And always, there should be a gap. When you make that transmission to the engine, where you got to pull that converter out of the transmission, a good, really, half to 3/4 of an inch is normal. If you don't have that, once again, don't continue with the install. It means you're going to jam something up, you're going to lock that crank up, wipe the thrust area out, and that is unfortunately not covered under warranty. That's an installation issue. So just trying to warn you, we're not trying to scare you. Just make sure you got that stuff covered. If you have any questions at all, give Steve a call. We'll go over with you in more detail. Once again, really appreciate your business. Send us some photographs. Maybe you'll drop us a letter. Put something on YouTube or on Facebook. If you like what you see and if you like dealing with us, we always like to hear from our customers. We always, like I said, we try to, for 100% customer satisfaction here for Full Unlimited. And let us know how we did. Let us know how you like the engine. Thanks a lot, Aaron, and have a good day.
Okay, Aaron. 1965 Ford Mustang, 347. We're gonna rock and roll with this baby. See what we got.